What's up guys, Readiness Reviews here with you again, and we are doing another military surplus rifle unboxing today. This box is coming to us from Royal Tiger Imports once again, and it contains a Fucili Modello 1891 Carcano long rifle. Now I have purchased a long rifle Carcano from Royal Tiger Imports in the past, and in my opinion I completely got burned. The bore on that rifle was completely trash, and so it keyholes every time you pull the trigger. On Royal Tiger Imports Memorial Day sale, they were offering B-grade Carcano long rifles for $200. And for that kind of price point, I couldn't help myself but give them another shot in hopes of receiving a rifle with a shootable bore. So before we crack into this Milsurp box, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like seeing these military-centric firearms videos here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. Now let's see what a B-grade Carcano is looking like here in 2023. So I believe this rifle box encountered a tumble in shipping because we have a little hole to where the contents inside tried to make their way outside. We also have a pretty sizable indentation here where this thing was very clearly dropped. FedEx has absolutely no regard for firearms boxes. It's almost like they intentionally beat them up. And hopefully this rifle survived unscathed. We will be opening this one up with a bayonet here. If you're aware of what kind of bayonet this is, let me know about it down in the comments. Some packing peanuts, an internal cardboard sleeve, and plenty of bubble wrap. We're coming out butt in first here. Apparently it was the bolt that made that indentation in the box because it knocked a little hole in our bubble wrap as well. I really don't have a clue why I decided to order another one of these Carcanos from Royal Tiger Imports after the last one I received. I guess I just really want a long rifle that has a shootable bore, and unfortunately, RTI is about the only place you can buy a surplus Carcano long rifle. There's our first glance. Dark, dry wood, as usual. Oh boy. We are missing our handguard. I was hoping for a complete rifle at the least. I guess you can't expect all that much for $200. Finding a replacement handguard for an M91 long rifle is essentially impossible. So this rifle will probably be handguardless from now on. We are looking at a 1917 made example, so a World War I date. That's a good thing. And that is a Tierney-made rifle. Don't know why this rear action screw is backed out so far. It's not supposed to be like that. We do have our front sling loop here and barrel band. Butt plate is present, but we have a lot of cracks going on in the wood. Cracks of this nature are rarely a huge problem. It's pretty common for really old dry wood like this to start having some cracking in this area. The only one of these cracks that really bother me at all is this one that's close to the toe, because that can cause you to lose some wood. But even if you did, that would not be that hard of a repair to undergo. No cracks in the wrist. That's a good sign. And the stock itself actually looks pretty good. There's no sections of missing wood. It doesn't seem to be super worn down like the last one I took a look at. We can even see a little bit of our very handsome wood grain in this stock. After cleaning, I think the stock on this rifle is going to look pretty darn nice. The rear sight is all intact and is functional. Actually seems to lock up pretty solidly. That probably hasn't been lifted in a very long time because we have a dust bunny in there. Take a look at our action here. It's decocked and cocked on opening. That's a very tight bolt, but it did open. The Carcano bolt is a very simple design. All the parts for this one are present, and it seems pretty solidly constructed. Reinsert that, and let's see if she fires. Very sloppy trigger, but that was a nice, authoritative drop of the striker. On our muzzle end here, we do have our end cap with our bayonet lug. The screw is not seated in completely, but it is present. We have our front sight, and that seems to be in decent shape. And our crown looks decent. We're missing our cleaning rod, of course. The first example of these rifles that I bought from them actually had the cleaning rod included. The big thing I was looking for in this particular rifle, though, was a bore that is shootable. So I have some original surplus 6.5 Carcano ammo here. This is the real deal, correct military ammunition. And let's go in for a little muzzle test here. Wow, it stops right there. That is a very good sign. It's not eating that bullet at all. So the muzzle on this one looks to have plenty of life left in it, unlike the other long rifle that I got from RTI. While we're up here at the muzzle, we can see the import marks. They are on the top side of the barrel. Here's a look at the bore. This rifle has sharp rifling. It is dark, but I've seen much worse. It is worlds better than the first example that I received from Royal Tiger Imports, and it does look very shootable. These rifles do have gain twist rifling, where the twist rate gets tighter and tighter as you move down the bore closer to the muzzle. Near the throat area of this rifle, there's actually just a little bit of sheen. It's pretty dark through the rest of it though. The bore on this rifle does look very promising though, and with some proper ammunition, I think I will have a proper shooter out of this one. We're already halfway out of the wood, so let's go ahead and take it all the way down to see what we're looking like under the wood line. I don't even need a screwdriver for this one. That screw's already backed out so far. I can just do it by hand. That barrel band comes off. The middle band is toolless. It's just held on by a spring latch, so we'll depress that. Not having the handguard on makes that a very easy piece to remove. Our action screws were already backed out, so they should be easy to remove as well. That one is very rusty though, and I don't recall seeing the threads go all the way to the end of the screw like that. Plus this is oddly domed up. I think this screw might be some kind of field replacement, because that does not look normal to me. That one looks more characteristically Carcano to me, but it has its own fair share of rust, and the screw head's kind of been through it a little bit. The magazine assembly popped right out very easily. It is grimy and dirty with a rust line all the way around it and some cobwebs living on the inside, but the spring is there for the clip release, and the tension on our mag spring seems good, so that should be functional. The stock comes right off the barreled action, and crap. We have a crack on the inside of the stock here. It does not break all the way through to the outside. And just pressing on it, it's not really moving much, but that looks pretty substantial to me. Definitely the kind of thing that needs to be shored up. No cracks through the rear though, that's good. And the rest of the stock channel actually looks pretty clean, free of debris, and no cracks. I do really hate to see that though. Before that came to light, I was starting to think that we had a really nice stock on our hands. And here's our barreled action. There's all kinds of debris and gunk all over it. Several times throughout this video, I have mentioned the first Fusilli Modelo 1891 that I unboxed here on the channel from Royal Tiger Imports. I will link that video right up here for you if you want to see that. That first rifle was not a B-grade example. This rifle is. That first rifle was $300. This rifle was $200. And even though that first rifle was a more complete example with a more solid stock, I am far happier with this one because the bore on this one does actually seem shootable, unlike that first one. In a future video, we will do a deep dive on the RTI Carcano long rifles. We'll get them both on camera, take them both to the range, and I'll give you guys an idea of what you can truly expect from these rifles. But how am I feeling about spending $200 on this one? Well, I feel about the same way I always do when I make a purchase from RTI. I'm not exactly happy about it, but I'm not super mad about it either. This rifle does need substantial work, and I hate the stock is cracked on the inside like that, but we do have what looks like a pretty good bore on this one, and so as long as I can turn a shooter into it, I will end up being happy with the rifle. Missing that handguard takes a lot of value away from the rifle. That is a fairy dust part to obtain. You just don't see them. And I'm sure if you did run across one, it would be very expensive, adding a lot of cost to your rifle. But maybe it's worth it if this does turn out to be a decent shooter. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. That helps the channel out with the algorithm and getting the video distributed out to other viewers. Subscribe so you don't miss any of my future military surplus firearms content, and drop me a comment letting me know what you thought about the video and whether or not you would buy a B-grade rifle from Royal Tiger Imports, whether it be a Carcano or something else. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. See you then. Peace.